Hello everybody. Today I want to take the time to talk about the new Zenkai units we'll be getting after reset. We know that we'll be getting a Zenkai for the EX second form Cell, and for the yellow sparking final form Frieza. With the Cell is where I want to start this discussion, because we knew he was coming, because we've already received Zenkais for Raditz, Nappa, Vegeta, and the first form Frieza, so we knew we were transitioning into the Android or Cell saga. However, it seemed more intuitive to give a Zenkai to one of the androids first, primarily 19 or 20, because they're the first ones to show up in that episode of the anime or manga. But for some reason they chose to go with second form Cell. 17 and 18 also seemed more appropriate than Cell, also considering the fact that 21, who is also a blue android and also regeneration unit, it's hard to compete with her, so let's see if his kit could stand up to hers. Here we're looking at legends.dbz.space. I'll link it in the description for the video as well if you want to follow along. We see his tags here that he has Android, Future, Regeneration, Absorption, Powerful Opponent. And the rest are his characteristics. He is an extreme character and a blue range type from the Cell Saga. Let's take a look at his stats here. At 14 stars, max boost paneled, he would be bolstering a power of 1.44 million. It's pretty good stat there. Almost 2.5 million health. We're doing a big round up there. His strike attack and blast attack are almost on par with each other, only 5,000 difference there, and he has rather good defenses with 172k each. His main ability inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 10 to strike and blast arts costs for 20 counts, restores own ki by 30, and increases his own damage inflicted by 40% for 20 timer counts. And this actually can proc really early in the match, so you'll be able to cripple your opponents from the get-go, limiting their combos. Unless they have units that are impervious to attribute downgrades, this is really going to limit their combos, especially even if they have card draw speed or reduced costs. The first ability here, we see that they want to make his blast orientation really shine. He does an additional 30% blast damage to tag Android, except for a character named Cell, and an additional 50% to blast damage inflicted for 15 timer counts when this character enters the battlefield. I like this because it also goes hand in hand with what's going on in the anime. He's trying to absorb 17 and 18 to bolster his own power. Actually, he's already absorbed 17 and he's going after 18 here. So he's anti-android, and I like to see that included into this. Also, with Android being rather prominent in the meta at the moment, this will really help him out. His second passive is Anti-Saiyan Blast Attack up, 30% damage, blast damage inflicted to tag Saiyan as well. Saiyan is probably the biggest tag in the game, so this is also very helpful to him. His third unique here applies the following effects when this character is switched to standby. Inflicts attribute downgrade -1 to card arch draw speed level for 15 timer counts. Inflicts attribute downgrade -50% to health restoration for 15 timer counts. When I look at this, the first character that comes to mind is Vados. Vados has increased card draw speed and also heals her allies as she is switched out. So here you're going to be limiting her card draw speed, which can be very tricky because she can essentially come in with +2 card draw speed for a bit. And then you're going to be offsetting some of that health restoration she offers her entire team. Well, I just realized I talk about Vados a lot on this channel, but she's a really good unit. She's almost always on my mind. Not in the wrong way. And the final passive here applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. Restores own ki by 30, plus 30% damage inflicted for 20 timer counts, and reduces damage received by 15% for 20 timer counts. Okay, that's pretty good there. He definitely has some pretty good damage buffs going. Counting his blast, he has plus 80% of blast damage inflicted and plus 30% of general damage. He's going to be doing a lot of damage with his blast cards. And then the reduced damage is always great, you know. A lot of the top tier units in the game have a damage cut. His strike or blast cards don't have any special effects on them. His special move is Big Bang Crash. It deals major explode damage, inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade minus 30% to key recovery for 15 timer counts on hit. It's pretty good special move there. It is a long range attack, so you can counter blast arts with it. And finally, his quirk skill is Solar Flare. It's a long range move, and on hit it inflicts flash and inflicts attribute downgrade plus 20% to damage received for 20 timer counts. If you guys have been fighting on PvP lately, you'll know that Android 21 is very annoying with this quirk skill of hers. So his is also very good as well. It can counter blast attacks, taps, and even blue cards. And of course, give you a great defensive option if you don't have it banished. You just drift backwards to long range and try to catch them with the Solar Flare. He hoards 2 blast cards, and his Zenkai ability increases the following stats of characters that are both blue and extreme. Both strike and blast attack by 30%. Again, the character must meet both of them, so it has to be an extreme blue unit to be able to get this Zenkai ability. It's not just either or. And then his Z ability is, of course, blast attack and defense for blue. Here are some equipments you can get for him in case you're not prepared for that. You can go onto legends.dbc.space again and click individual on each of these equipments and see where to get them if you don't know where. So all in all, I think this Cell is a pretty good unit. He's, I think, better suited to cripple your opponent in the early match and give you an advantage, hopefully allowing you to get your rush before your opponent. And then it's a numbers games there, you'll have more vanishes. And of course, this Cell will continually be crippling the opponent with his switches out. He's pretty good. I don't think you should dump 2,000, 3,000 energy on the first day to get him, but I definitely think that you should slowly build up your way to getting him. Do the daily missions, get 100 Zenkai Awakening power every day, and eventually you'll get him. He's pretty good though. I'm glad we're getting him. But we can move on and discuss Frieza now. Alright, now let's talk about the Frieza. So we actually were kind of hinted that we would be getting this Zenkai because when Legends Limited Piccolo, Yellow God Vegeta, and Super Saiyan 2 Future Trunks all got their Zenkais, it was also connected to when Toshi fought against Yu in Jump Festa. That was actually a team that Yu brought against Toshi. This time around in the Launch and Yamcha showcase, Toshi was fighting against Yu, and Yu brought Final Form Frieza, Metal Cooler, and Legends Limited First Form Frieza. So we can infer that the other 2 characters are also going to be getting Zenkais. And I'm not sure how I feel about that, because it's exciting for, of course, a team to get Zenkais. LOE's going to get a huge power bolster with this. But it's exciting for them to get new characters, and I feel like they should have done a mix of the 2 as opposed to just giving them full-blown Zenkais. But let's discuss Frieza since we do know he's here, and we'll see what Legends does with other ones in the future. So Frieza has the tags of Frieza Force, Transforming Warrior, Lineage of Evil, and Powerful Opponent. He is a yellow melee type. Now let's take a look at his stats. He's got 1.53 million power level, which is pretty high. A health of 2.84 mil, which is going to make him quite tanky. A really high strike attack at 290k. And then his defenses are rather decent with 177k, 179k. He's obviously a melee unit, so that's the disparity between his strike and blast attack. His main ability, draw the ultimate arts card Death Catastrophe next, restore zone ki by 40, and plus 30% to ultimate damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. This is actually really good because not only is he buffing his ultimate, he is also restoring enough ki to use his ultimate and potentially a strike card if you have one in your hand. So it is going to maximize damage quite a bit there. It's pretty good. His first unique, plus 40% strike damage inflicted against Saiyans, cannot be cancelled. Plus 20% damage inflicted when battle starts, cannot be cancelled. Applies the following effects to self every time when faced with an enemy tag Saiyan character. Randomly draws one new card when you have 3 or fewer cards, restores ki by 30. That's really good because if he's restoring ki, he'll be able to use any card he draws other than a blue. And of course, the damage inflicted buffs are awesome, and it's amazing that they're uncancelable. In his second passive here, plus 20% to damage inflicted against tag Frieza Force or Lineage of Evil except Frieza. Restores own health by 10% when this character enters the battlefield if there is a defeated tag Frieza Force or tag powerful opponent ally. Activates twice. Restores own health by 10% when this character switches to standby if there is a defeated tag Frieza Force or tag powerful opponent enemy. Activates twice. So they put powerful opponent into his kit. I haven't seen his Z ability yet, but I was curious what they would do with it, because this is actually the first Zenkai of a unit that has a Z ability focused around a color type as opposed to a tag. So I was wondering if they would change it. And with this part of his kit, I'm starting to think they might have changed it. I might look a little dumb later on, but it's just been really interesting to me. So I like to see the fact that powerful opponent is on here, because that tag is the one that needs more love. It's a very good, there's very good characters on it. It just doesn't have that much synergy at the moment. His third unique here applies the following effects to self once 30 timer counts have elapsed from the battle start. Plus 20% damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled, and minus 5 to arts costs. Pretty good. He wants to, you know, remain alive. You don't want to be sacrificing him as your first unit. You want to let him be either your last man standing or close to it. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. Plus 30% to damage inflicted, cannot be stacked. Reduces damage received by 15%. So he actually has a lot of damage inflicted buffs. He has 30, 50, 70 natural, 70% natural damage inflicted up after 30 timer counts. And then an additional 40% strike damage to Saiyans and 20% to Frieza Force or Lineage of Evil. He's covering a lot of the meta at the moment. Android's probably the one that'll benefit fighting him the most, but nonetheless, he looks like a pretty good character so far. Let's take a look at his arts. His strike and blast don't have any special effects on them. Special move is Death Ball. Deals major explode damage, inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade, plus 20% to strike damage received for 30 timer counts. His green card, very good by the way. Telekinesis, it is a long range, so it can counter blast cards and blue cards. I'm not sure why I froze there, but the ultimate, oh, I didn't even read telekinesis, sorry. It immobilizes the enemy, restores Oki by 20, inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 20% to damage received for 15 timer counts. Then the ultimate Death Catastrophe deals massive explode damage, applies the following effects to tag allied Frieza Force, Lineage of Evil, or powerful opponent on hit. Plus 25% damage inflicted for 40 timer counts, plus 40% to ki recovery for 40 timer counts. So that's very good. And his Zenkai ability here increases the following stats of characters that are both yellow and powerful opponent by 40% to both attacks and 35% to both defenses. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Now, Final Form Cell has a full team of Zenkai buffs, which is crazy to me. And unfortunately, they didn't change his Z ability. I'm not sure why they didn't do that. They should have actually made this yellow and powerful opponent. This doesn't benefit much of his team. He's pretty self-sustained because of his Zenkai ability, but he's not offering much to the rest of the team. And powerful opponent, as I was saying before, is a tag with a lot of good characters, but just not that much synergy at the moment. If you're missing equipments for the Frieza, these are some of the ones you could get. Again, you can find them on legends.dbc.space. It'll be in the description of the video as well. All in all, Frieza seems like a very good unit. He's going to be hitting hard. He's got a lot of longevity with his health restoration. and it seems like he'll probably be fun to run with powerful opponent. He's not going to do much for the team other than with his ultimate, but he is going to be benefiting from having them on his side. So that was the breakdown for the Zenkai characters that are coming out. I hope you enjoyed it. It was rather, what's the word for it? Ironic to be on this end of the breakdowns, because I usually watch breakdowns so I don't have to go pull up the kits myself and read them, but now I did just that. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you if you managed to stick around this far. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any suggestions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments. And I would love it if you could subscribe and come back for future content. I'll be having a diversity of different things. If you take a look at my channel, there's already a few different things. I do apologize for not having any fight videos in the last 2 days, but the video compiled with all the special cover changes actually took a lot more to edit than I thought it would. But I'll definitely have some more showcases coming up. Please come back to the channel. Thank you for watching.